It's Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. In this video, I want to take a little look ahead to where some of the models are kind of hinting at a little tropical development, nothing crazy, something we kind of watch this time of year. It would be over here in the Western Caribbean. So I want to go out in time. At the least, we're going to see a buildup of rain. I've been talking about that in the last few videos. We need to watch some areas of flooding in through here, Western Caribbean, Central America, and southeast sections of the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago, we've had some of that rain. I've been watching that overnight and early this morning. Here are the pockets of rain. So here we are in Jamaica, Cuba, Cayman Islands. We had some scattered showers around it yesterday, but the heaviest stuff is swinging anywhere from Panama north, right on the edge of Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, especially toward the Caribbean side. That's where we have some of that heavier rain. Then we swing here in the southeastern Caribbean, Dominica through St. Lucia, Barbados, for example. We've been dry overnight, but we swing to the south. This little pocket here has been moving in. I've been highlighting this the last few days, and in the eastern Caribbean, the rain chance is going to build by the weekend. I'll show you that as well. But short term, over the next 3 days, you see some additional pockets of rain, Trinidad and Tobago, in particular Trinidad, where especially on the south side, we could see some rain. We could have some 3-day totals of 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain. So giving you the heads up, nothing super alarming, but I am watching that flood threat building. So I appreciate you spreading that word in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to get into kind of more of an active cycle as we go throughout mid to late months. So watching some signs of that now. Then we swing to the north. There's that big system up by the Atlantic region of Canada. New systems crossing the U.S. We'll cover those in just a moment. Canada back toward the U.S. Now we swing back through the Caribbean. Water temperatures have cooled near Haiti and Jamaica, but overall in the Caribbean, they're still warm this time of year. And occasionally, as you get through the month of November, not December, November, there could be a little bit of a spin up or at least some areas of rain to watch. And we watch that flood threat, and we've seen that the last few years, right? We've seen that in several sections, November to December, where we've had some considerable areas of rain, and we just kind of keep an eye out to see if anything does try to develop. Nothing alarming at this point or anything like that. But let me show you long term what I'm seeing. Let's start short term. There's some of the rain we're watching southeastern Caribbean, even Grenada, St. Vincent the Grenadines, along with Trinidad and Tobago, seeing some showers, spotty, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, hit or miss in Jamaica, but here's more of that rain through parts of Central America, even building back toward Belize as we go over the next couple days. This is with a tropical wave, and as expected, as I've been mentioning, this tropical wave not developing, just adding some of that additional rain. So this here is tomorrow. Then as we go out in time here, still some additional rain near western sections of Cuba, south through Central America, spotty elsewhere, but you can see here by the time we get toward Thursday, some additional rain in the Atlantic. No signs of development with that, but let me jump ahead here 2 times. First, into the weekend. So let's move the clock forward as we work our way into this weekend, and you can see right there, there's the additional rain. No signs of development, but I mentioned that flood threat will be building in some spots, keeping an eye on the eastern and in particular southeastern Caribbean for that flood threat building. Then going out in time even more so, what we're going to see as we work our way into next week, and this is the American model, the European model showing the same thing, a buildup of rain in the Western Caribbean. We need to really keep this away from Jamaica. We will be watching that together very carefully. But either way, as we work our way through Central America, seeing some extra rain here in the Western Caribbean. So it's an area to keep an eye on for maybe a hint of development. Hopefully not seeing big signs of that. That's some good news. With that, some extra rain, that can lead to a flood threat. So we've got a few spots we're just going to kind of monitor over the next few days, and I'll continue to take you out in time to kind of help show you what's next. But these are the 2 areas in particular. Again, keeping an eye on the southeastern Caribbean for an additional flood threat, really going through November, and just monitoring this near Belize, Honduras, somewhere over here for that buildup of rain, just to see if anything wants to spin up. Again, the European model, for example, is not showing that, but it is showing the extra rain. So of course, with the water temperatures warm, that grabs my attention. But this time of year, fortunately above our heads, things are not super conducive for development. So that is some good news. Always trying to find some good news, but of course letting you know exactly what's kind of going on, kind of what we're watching together as we go forward. Now watching this up toward the Atlantic region of Canada, seeing a big wind maker with that rain, even some snow, and a couple systems here crossing by. This little sneaky one moving toward the Great Lakes, Ontario, Quebec, moving back toward New England as we work our way into tomorrow. Bermuda Bermuda, most of these fronts kind of clear by, but there's that pocket there, new area here. There's some of the rain building over toward parts of Cuba. You see western Cuba, some additional rain. You get the tail end of these fronts, leaving some of that moisture around, and there's that sneaky system coming out of New England, working its way again across the Maritimes and the Atlantic region to Canada. We'll keep an eye on some new systems that will be building back. So no named storms in sight. That is good. There's always that chance there could be one, maybe two as we work our way through the end of the season. Usually they're not a bother, but as I mentioned, the Western Caribbean, that's the spot to watch. The next name on the list is Nestor. Hopefully we do not get there at all. These are the names we've had so far, of course, this season, and it is so good to hear from so many of you across Jamaica, across Haiti. We've been getting a little bit of word in the comments from southeastern Cuba. It is so good to hear from you. You can see the comment section giving you lots of love as you continue with the relief efforts and recovery efforts ongoing from Melissa. Sees a bit of a chop through the Caribbean Atlantic waters, no doubt on the rougher side. Let me cover some of the rain that's around. You see as you get back toward the southern U.S., mainly dry, even back through Florida and the northern Bahamas, southern Bahamas, better chance of rain, central and southern. This is scattered. So the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, we could get a quick shower that could give us 25 millimeters of rain or an inch of rain in some spots. Some of us nothing. Others, we get a shower passing by. Not a whole lot as we swing back towards St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, for example, and Agata back towards St. Croix, St. Thomas. We swing to the south. This is where we get a little bit more as we work our way toward the southeastern Caribbean. I was highlighting this. So Barbados, St. Vincent, south, better chance of getting some of that rain over the next few days, but it builds further this weekend. That's why I was showing you some of that rain that will be working in and watching northern Guyana, northeastern Venezuela. Not a whole lot as we work our way towards Suriname, but northern sections, better chance of rain. These are the heavy pockets, east sections of Honduras, including the islands, and then you swing back toward Providencia and San Andres as well. Nicaragua, Caribbean side, Costa Rica, Panama will have some spots of 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain, getting closer to Belize and watching the Yucatan Peninsula. Not so much Merida and Campeche, a little bit more Cancun, Cozumel for that higher chance of rain. Mexico City to the north, though, look how dry we are. Swinging back toward the southwest U.S., of course, with these systems moving in. Northern sections of California, seeing some of the systems kind of clipping by, working in over toward the Pacific Northwest. There's some of the higher rain totals, especially as we work our way over toward today with that system moving in. 100 millimeters of rain possible over toward parts of Newfoundland. For example, Bermuda will see these fronts kind of moving by, but much of the U.S. on the dry side. So Jamaica, we're looking at about a 40% chance of some spotty showers and storms. I so look forward to going back and forth with you in the comment section today. It's so good to hear from so many of you. You know we are thinking of you very much. Cayman Islands, about a 50% chance of spotty showers, which continues the next few days. Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of this has already panned out from overnight. Let me know your location, what you got going on or not going on with some of that rain. Again, isolated pockets of flooding, and they could be significant in some spots. We'll be watching that, but thank you for spreading the word across Trinidad and Tobago. Not in an alarming way, but that it's going to be more of an active cycle as we go throughout November with some areas of rain and that chance of flooding. Barbados, we could get clipped by a couple showers today. St. Lucia, not a whole lot, kind of on the edge of it. More of it's going to be down to the south, and you can see right here, Grenada, we're looking at a 60% chance of some rain today. St. Vincent, the Grenadines, especially southern islands, a better chance of getting some of that rain. Not as much for tomorrow. Martinique, we're looking at a 30% chance today. Very isolated as we swing through Dominica to the north. Same thing as we work our way back through Guadeloupe and we swing to the north. Antigua, Barbuda, this is passing variety, 30% chance today and tomorrow. A 40% chance St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, 30% chance for tomorrow. Very isolated over the next 3 days. Anguilla, St. Bart's over towards St. Martin, Saba, Statia, holding at about 20 to 30%. Isolated as we work our way back through Puerto Rico, looking at a 30% chance through the end of the working week. U.S. and British Virgin Islands kind of bopping around a little bit with that chance of some spotty showers. 40% chance tomorrow. Bahamas, central southern Bahamas, that's where we have the better chance of rain, and holding on to about a 30% chance back through the Turks and Caicos. We swing back toward the Dominican Republic. We're looking at a 50% chance of some scattered areas of rain. The next couple of days, we'll watch out for a few pockets of flooding, and holding on to a 40% chance as we work our way back through Haiti. Belize, rain chance starts to build, especially closer to the water. Tomorrow and Thursday, we're looking at a 50% chance, and it builds a little bit. Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, as we start to see some of that rain in the southeastern Caribbean, tries to move across a little bit, so we'll start to see our rain chance bumping up across the ABC Islands. Guyana, mainly northern sections. Same thing in Suriname. We're looking really northern sections closer to the water where that rain chance will be a touch higher. 40% chance today in Cuba. We're looking at the western end with that better chance of rain with that tropical wave that will be moving in. Costa Rica and Panama, 70% chance. Trends down a little bit. 60% chance in Nicaragua. The issue is some of it's really going to be heavy, especially as we get closer to the Caribbean. 70% chance today in Honduras. Again, really heavy. Watching the islands, watching eastern sections, monitoring some of that flooding, not just today, but over the next couple days. Guatemala and El Salvador, as that rain chance builds, we'll see it build as that tropical wave moves across. We'll monitor that flood threat as we go through the end of the week. Meanwhile, Mexico City, we're on the dry side, and I mentioned the Yucatan Peninsula, maybe mainly the eastern sections. That's where that rain chance is higher. Northern Colombia, 40 to 50% chance. Build some in northern Venezuela with that moisture moving in near Trinidad and Tobago, especially northeastern Venezuela for today. Then we work our way back toward Bermuda with that system up toward the Atlantic region of Canada, just that tail end kind of clipping by. Otherwise, tomorrow and into Thursday, that rain chance on the low side. So Trinidad and Tobago, that flood risk, that tropical wave pushing toward Belize, watching that flood risk as well. Parts of Central America, so those heavy areas of rain are on the move. And we'll keep an eye on the Western Caribbean as well, just for the overall buildup of rain as we work our way into next week. So I'll be looking for you in the comments. Please be safe and have a good day ahead.